Nobody really talks about this part of river cruising, but this is actually where it becomes special. There is a moment on a river cruise in Europe when everything just feels easy. Somewhere along the Rhône, the pace naturally slows. You'll find yourself in a quiet town, surrounded by history, with the river quietly moving beside you. And in that moment, I thought this is what the river cruising is all about. This is day 4 of my first Viking River cruise in France, sailing the Rhône River on the Lyon Provence itinerary, and today we are in Viviers, a small town that feels like it's frozen in time. Hi, I am Oksana with Signature Travel Channel. If you enjoy discovering beautiful places in Europe, learning about river cruises, don't forget to subscribe because I'm sharing this entire journey day by day. Around 2 a.m. in the morning, we arrived and docked quietly along the Rhône. While we were sleeping, the ship carried us into another beautiful part of southern France. This is one of the things I love most about river cruising. You wake up and you're already in a new destination. If you're an early riser, this is a perfect moment to step off the ship. You can go for a walk, take a jog, or simply enjoy the fresh morning air before the town fully wakes up. There is peaceful feeling in these early hours. This morning felt slower and more relaxed. I went up the aquavit terrace for breakfast, and with a fresh cup of coffee in hand, I just sat back and watched the river and surrounding landscape, taking all in. The fall colors around the river were beautiful. The air felt fresh, everything around me felt calm and peaceful. The light was soft, the views were stunning, and there were nowhere else I needed to be. What makes river cruising so special is how effortless it feels. You wake up in a completely new location without packing, without rushing, without thinking about logistics. Enjoy beautiful breakfast and ease into your morning. And this particular morning felt truly magical. And then when I was sitting there, a few white swans slowly floated by the ship. One of those simple, unexpected moments you can't plan, but somehow becomes one of the most memorable parts of the day. That's how mornings should feel. Without any rush, we slowly got ready for our excursion. At 9:45 a.m., we had a 2-hour walk-in tour of Viviers. And this is one of the easiest parts of river cruising. You simply leave the ship, scan your room card, walk down the ramp, and just few steps away, your guide is already there waiting for you. It really is that easy. We started our walk along a beautiful alley of trees. It was one of those perfect fall moments. Leaves were gently falling as you walked. You could hear that crisp autumn sound under your feet. These are plane trees known as sycamore in the United States. They line the road and create a natural canopy of shade. These trees were planted during the time of Napoleon to provide shade for his troops as they marched through southern France or rested along the way. It was November 1st and the weather was beautiful. The town felt quiet, almost untouched. Viviers is one of those places that feels perfect for a single-day visit, small and peaceful, but at the same time, it leaves an impression. So let's talk about Viviers. This is the kind of town that truly takes you back in time, like it simply stayed the same for centuries. Our guide described it in a way that really stayed with me. She said this town almost exists on its own planet, a place where time just stops. As you walk through these quiet streets, you start to feel exactly that. Before we begin, just something to keep in mind. Viviers has very narrow streets, a lot of cobblestones, and quite a bit of uphill walking, so for anyone with mobility concerns, this is definitely something to consider. It's filled with winding medieval streets, a mix of medieval and Renaissance architecture, and that unmistakable French charm. In fact, it's often described as an open-air museum. And what makes it even more fascinating is that during medieval times, this town has a population of around 30,000 people. Today, fewer than 4,000 remain. Historically, Viviers was divided into 2 district worlds. The upper town was home to clergy and elite, protected and fortified. The lower town was where everyday life happened, where merchants and locals lived. We made our way into the heart of the old town, arriving at the place de la Republic. Here, our guide introduced us to the building originally built in the 13th century. For many years, it even served as a town hall. And just steps away stands the House of the Knights, one of the most striking buildings in Viviers. And that building comes with quite a story. It was built by Noel Albert, a wealthy salt merchant in 1500s. But he wasn't just a businessman. Our guide shared that he was also involved in collecting taxes in the town, and let's just say he may not have been passing all of it along. Some of it possibly stayed with him. During a time of religious conflict in France, he even took control of Viviers for a while, but his story didn't end well. When the power shifted, he was captured and later executed. From there, we continued uphill through the old gate of St. Michael's Tower, making our way towards St. Vincent Cathedral. This is the smallest cathedral still in use in France. Inside, the tapestries, each telling stories from the Bible, are remarkably well preserved and still incredibly detailed. And once you reach the top, the reward is unforgettable. A panoramic view over the rooftops of Viviers, and the Rhône River stretching quietly below. Walking back down, the town continues to surprise you. As we made our way down through the cobblestone streets, we passed simple stone homes. Some doors looked unusually small, a reminder that people were shorter in those times. Right next to them, you'll notice much larger doors. Our guide explained these were used for livestock. In the winter, animals were kept inside the homes to help provide warmth. And unlike many towns in France, Viviers remained largely untouched during the French Revolution. Its bishop at the time chose to support the revolutionary government, which helped protect the town. Later in history, Viviers also played a role during World War II. It became a hub for the French resistance, and some homes still contain hidden tunnels that were once used to shelter people from German soldiers. After taking in the views from the upper town, we slowly made our way back down to the lower town. Viviers is not a big city. It's one of those rare places that feel authentic. And for a few hours, you get to step into it. After our walking tour, we made our way back toward the ship. We still had a little bit of free time, so we stopped at a small local bakery and picked up a couple of pastries to bring back with us. And that's something I love about river cruising. You can absolutely bring little treats back on board, whether it's pastries, snacks, or even a bottle of local wine you discovered during the day. You're welcome to enjoy it later on the ship. We had to be back on board by 12:15 p.m. And as we returned, the crew welcomed us with hot chocolate, which was a nice touch after the excursion. It was perfect timing to relax, enjoy lunch, and settle in for an afternoon of scenic cruising. I really wanted to spend as much time outside as possible that day, so I had a quick lunch, bow tie pasta with smoked salmon and cream sauce, and then went straight up the Aquavit Terrace. That's where I had my coffee and dessert with the views right in front of me. Cruising is when the journey slows down and the scenery becomes the experience. As we sailed, the landscapes kept changing. Vineyards, small villages, open fields, even the occasional train passing along the river. We also passed through several locks, which is always such a unique experience. This ship enters this narrow space and suddenly you feel how close you are to the walls. It almost feels like you could reach out and touch them. And then slowly the water level changes, lifting or lowering the ship before continuing on. It's something you don't really think about it until you experience it. That day, the sun deck was closed. This sometimes happens on river cruises, especially when passing during high water levels. The ship lowers part of the dock deck to safely pass through. But this is exactly why I love spaces like the Aquavit Terrace. It's protected from the wind, comfortable, and still gives you those panoramic views. You can enjoy the scenery from the lounge or even from your own stateroom. And this is one of the reasons I often recommend a French balcony and veranda stateroom, because no matter the weather or conditions, you always have your own private view. At one point, we made a brief stop in a small town to pick up guests who had joined an optional afternoon excursion, and then just like that, we continued sailing. The rest of the afternoon was all about the river, the views, and simply enjoying the journey. And later in the evening, we had our port talk where they walked us through what to expect for the next day. After dinner at 8:45 p.m., there was an evening entertainment with our local singer Christopher, which was a lovely way to end the day. Days like this are hard to explain because nothing big really happened without major attractions and once-in-a-lifetime events, and yet it felt like everything. Quiet morning, a small town frozen in time, an afternoon just watching the world float by. This is river cruising. And just like that, it was time to head to bed, ready for a brand new adventure tomorrow. If you're enjoying this journey along the Rhône River, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow along for the next days of this Viking River cruise. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.